Everybody, it's Alex Miller at Capnion here. I'd like to present you with the slightly spicy thesis that, in a lot of ways, the point of a lot of AI safety conversation right now is to avoid doing something about AI safety. And in particular, there are very existential but vague AI safety conversations about AI ending humanity in some way. And they seem to drain a lot of oxygen from very tangible and tactical AI conversations about how AI is negatively affecting a lot of people's lives right now in an obviously gross and unethical way. When I say purpose, I'm not saying anybody's doing anything consciously, but rather there's always a dynamic in society where people have influence, and some narratives are convenient for them, others are inconvenient, and I would say these tactical, tangible AI narratives are inconvenient because they would require somebody to do something specific right now. And these vague Skynet AI safety conversations are convenient for draining the oxygen and just not really requiring anything specific right now. I always like to think about, of all the stuff you read in the newspaper, what's real in my life right now. And I get around and talk to a lot of people, and also what's real in the stories I hear from other people about their lives. It's really gross right now that a lot of people can't put images on social media without somebody coming by and using AI to address them, and including very often young women not yet at the age of majority. And this is just unacceptable. I would not say we are making a whole lot of haste to do anything about it in the United States. And for example, the federal government has recently been talking about passing laws to prevent states from regulating AI. There's been some movement in other countries, but in general, the AI safety conversation does not focus very much on these things as AI safety. And this is really tragic because it's pretty straightforward. You could do something to fix these ugly problems. If you keep scrolling through your social media, AI safety conversations are all about the end of the world. And while I don't want the world to end, and I understand the impetus to focus on big risks, how exactly was the world going to end? When was it going to end? There's not a lot of detail. And it seems to me necessarily true that nothing can really happen in the short term as a result of these conversations. We sometimes say, oh, maybe so-and-so's not going to release their hot new model, but you may have seen recently that Anthropic dumped a chunk of their AI safety pledge, saying we have to release all these hot new models if other people are. So the end of the world AI safety conversation seems to do nothing. And I would argue if we just gave up on it, it would constructively free up room to talk about areas where we could do something, and it would really prevent people from suffering harm. They are often suffering the status quo. I know this sounds like a crazy idea if you've never heard of it before, that somehow AI safety is supposed to prevent AI safety, but this is something of a broader type that professors write books about. It's called recuperation. And if you would like to just see it in action every day, start paying attention to the classic rock songs in car commercials and digging into the lyrics and thinking, hey, is this actually an anti-consumerist classic rock song that is here telling me to consume things? It's a common pattern that where there's a lot of vested interest, the vested interest will pick up some chunk of the discourse criticizing it and use it in a kind of vapid way. And this has the effect of weirdly silencing that criticism. It's very powerful, and I know it's a lot of work to ask you to start paying attention to car commercials in this way, but if you choose to do so, it's there. And I would argue that this kind of recuperation is the term, is going on all over AI safety right now, and it's a real tragedy.